Good morning, everyone. This is Al Rody. This is 8 for 8. It's Monday morning at 9:05. I'm so sorry I'm a little late this morning. For those of you who got up with me to be here today, I was even early leaving home to come to work today, and then I just sat in traffic and sat in traffic and sat in traffic, and here I am 5 minutes late. So I won't belabor that. I hope you'll forgive me as I forgive myself. It's another beautiful day in downtown Halifax. It's not exactly sunny and it's not exactly hot, but it's not freezing, and we're alive and healthy and happy, and life is wonderful. Today I want to talk about insomnia, and I want to talk about specific direct ways of how to overcome insomnia, because insomnia seems to be a big problem. It seems to me like about 60% of the people that I encounter, 6 out of 10, 60 out of 100, have a hard time sleeping. Either you wake up at exactly the same time each night, or you have a hard time going to sleep, or you wake up randomly throughout the night and then can't get back to sleep. So typically what I've discovered is, and I don't think anything I'm going to tell you here today is any news except for maybe the technique on how to overcome insomnia, which might be a big deal for you, I hope. But the idea about insomnia is that when we wake up, there's some reason for it. Now, in Wayne Dyer's talks, Dr. Wayne Dyer talks on PBS all the time. One of the first things that he ever said to me, one of the first times I ever listened to him very closely, which was years and years ago, he was standing on stage with a really large audience, and he said, "How many people here wake up in the middle of the night?" And about 75% of the hands went up. And then he said, "How many people know exactly what time they wake up in the middle of the night?" And out of that 75%, another 50 or 60% more, certainly more than half of those people who had originally had their hands up, kept their hands up. And so this is a huge amount of people in this large in this large audience that he had, knew exactly what time they wake up in the middle of the night. And in his wonderful, gentle style, he took a deep breath and he looked at that, and he looked at all of those people as if he was talking to them personally and directly. And he said, "That's the time in the night when you are at your most open and God is attempting to communicate with you. So rather than fight it, embrace it and love it, and get up and write down your thoughts, do some breathing, and go back to sleep." Well, that was pretty profound for me. Not so much just what he said, but the fact that so many people knew exactly what time they woke up in the middle of the night. And actually, I was one of those people. Whenever I had times in my life when I would wake up in the middle of the night, it was almost always at 4:48. And somehow I knew this. And so when he said that, it rang so true for me. And so we have these issues that come to us. So one of the things could be that you are awakened in order to have a conversation with God. And so that's a really profound thing to do. So, rather than fight with it and argue with it and try and get back to sleep and worry about it and ruminate over it and think about all your recycling thoughts, why not get up, write down a few things that you want to say to God, take a deep breath, and see if you can go back to sleep. Now, for other people who kind of wake up just randomly and cyclical thinking happens, and we all have this situation as well, there are a couple of techniques that I'm going to talk about today that can help you, has helped about 90% of the people in my Tuesday night group effectively get back to sleep. And so, but first I want to talk a little bit about the cycling thoughts. What are you thinking about when you wake up? A couple of things we have to deal with first is we got to think about external circumstances. Like, for example, you might have some neuropathic pain or something that's waking you up for some particular reason. This is a different issue. But you also might just be drinking too much coffee or tea throughout the day, so there's caffeine in your system. If you drink Coca-Cola or soft drinks, you've got caffeine. And very bad for your health, but that's a judgment on my part, so I'll just leave that alone. But as I drink my coffee, I know that at night it affects me because the caffeine causes my legs to be kind of edgy and jumpy. And then sometimes if I drink too much of it, I get a little edgy and jumpy myself and maybe not so pleasant to be around. So we want to watch these things, we want to pay attention, we want to notice, and if we feel like we're addicted to some of these substances, we can have a round of tapping on these, these cravings, even though I have this craving for coffee, or even though I have this craving for Coke or Pepsi or whatever it is. Anyway, so taking that out of the mix, what happens, you wake up and you have cycling thoughts over and over and over, and usually you're worrying about something that happened in the past, or you're thinking about what's going to happen in the future. Neither one of them is very satisfying because you can't control the past, you can't change the past, and you can't control the future. So you want to really get yourself in the moment. So a way to get yourself in the moment is to take yourself out of your thinking mind, best way possible, or to break that cycle of thought, whatever it is. The negative self-talk, the worry about, who said what to who, or what's going to happen tomorrow at school, or who knows whatever it is in your life that causes you to stay away. So I want to teach you a little round of tapping that will help. But first I want to give you a little technique that Paul and I discovered that we thought was really kind of fun. So there's two techniques that I'm talking about here today. The first one is very simple. It has nothing to do with EFT. But it does have to do with occupying your mind on two levels, okay? So the first thing is that you want to start counting backwards from 100. Counting backwards, although it's easy, does require that you pay attention. So, you're all of a sudden you're at 87, and then what's the next number? 86, 85, 84. But you're having to you can't do that on autopilot. You have to think as you're counting backwards. So that's one thing. But the other thing I want you to do is count sheep. Yes, you heard me. It's a really exciting new concept in how to help yourself get back to sleep. Count sheep. Only these sheep that you're counting are big fluffy sheep, and you want to count them jumping backwards over the fence. Now close your eyes and try to imagine a sheep jumping backwards over a split rail fence. I think it's very difficult to do that. So as you engage your mind in envisioning, in picturing these sheep jumping backwards over a split rail fence, as you count backwards from 100, your mind is engaged on two fronts, and you cannot be in cyclical thinking. Now if the cyclical thinking takes over again, just renew your efforts. Focus on the sheep trying to jump, that poor sheep trying to jump backwards over this fence. And I promise you that if you can stick with the sheep jumping backwards over the fence and count back from 100, that you probably won't get to 50 before you fall back asleep. So that's one way. Now the other way does have something to do with EFT. One of the things that I've talked about before, I've done a video on this, it's on YouTube, you can find it on Insomnia. But one of the things is that we talk about imagined tapping. So you want to do an EFT round of tapping before you go to bed, so that you're completely, your body is ready to have a good night's sleep, so that you're ready to have a nice, refreshed, relaxing sleep and wake up happy and refreshed and feeling really good in the morning. And so, tapping on the karate chop point, we'd go to something like, even though, well, this is before you go to bed now, and you're physically tapping, maybe give yourself an hour or two before you go to bed to do this 1 or 2 rounds. Doesn't take long, just a couple minutes. Even though I have the possibility of waking up in the middle of the night, I choose to have a wonderful night's sleep. I choose to wake up relaxed and refreshed. I love and forgive myself for worrying about things in the night. I love and accept myself deeply and completely, top of the head. I know that I'm going to have a wonderful night's sleep. Inside I choose to wake up relaxed and refreshed and look forward to a wonderful day. Outside I look forward to a wonderful day, having had a wonderful night's sleep. I love and accept myself. Out under the eye, I can't wait to get this wonderful night's sleep. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to sleep like I've never slept before, deeply and completely, with peace and joy and love in my heart. I'm going to remember something that makes me feel good and feel happy before I go to bed, and I'm going to wake up with that thought in my mind tomorrow morning, feeling happy and refreshed and relaxed. On the chin, I love and forgive myself for thinking anything other than wonderful feelings during the night. I choose to be relaxed and calm. And yeah, as you notice, I'm getting a little monotone here. You might want to do that for yourself. I'm calm and relaxed, and I'm just drifting off to sleep very soon. I allow myself to just have another half hour, an hour before I put my head down. And when I do, I'm going to put my head down and fall off to sleep in bliss and peace and happiness and joy. I'm going to sleep through the night. I'm going to wake up feeling refreshed and relaxed and happy. And under the arm, I love and accept myself deeply and completely. So that's one round of EFT that you might do before you go to bed. So when you go to bed, if that hasn't been totally successful, if something has awakened you in the middle of the night and you're worried about getting back to sleep, so then you don't really want to disturb your partner, and you also don't want to do something physical while you're asleep. So rather than starting on the karate chop point, what I want you to do is imagine that you're tapping on, turn on the little light on top of your head. Imagine that you're turning on the lights, top of the head, inside eye, outside eye, under your eye, while you lie there perfectly quiet and calm. And you say only one thing as you light up those tapping points. I can't sleep. I can't sleep. So as I tap, imagine that the light's turning on, and I'm not really physically tapping, but just imagine. So I can't sleep, inside eye, I can't sleep, outside eye, I can't sleep, light, 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 under the eye, I can't sleep, light, 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 under the nose, I can't sleep, light, 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 on the chin, I can't sleep, light, 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 on the collarbone, I can't sleep, light, 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 under the arm, I can't sleep, light, light, light. So why does that work? In the first place, imagine tapping is as every bit as effective as regular tapping. You've already tapped in advance so that you've taught your body what it feels like to physically tap. So now you're just reminding your body what that feels like as you light up the points. And when you say that I can't sleep, you're actually talking to your rebellious child in there. Your rebellious child goes, yes, I can. I can't sleep. Yes, I can. I can't sleep. Yes, I can. And the rebellious child is coming back at you and saying, yes, I can, and I'm going to prove it to you, and we're going to go to sleep right now. And really, it's been very, very effective for my clients in Tuesday Night Group. I hope that it works out for you, those of you who have trouble with sleeping. Please send feedback. I'd love to hear about it. If you're having a problem sleeping and this works for you or doesn't work for you, please let me know either way. And this is Al Rodi. This has been 8 for 10 or 11 or 12. And it's Monday morning. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for being with me. Bye.